Hi again. So, David Kell here for grassrootsvegan.com. As I mentioned in my previous video, Revolution 3 was self-realization period where I decided to give up drinking wine, and by age 50 I did it, and that was last November of 2009. And it wasn't hard at all because, like I mentioned in the other video, I wasn't a heavy drinker. I just like to have wine on the weekend, but I found that it was no longer helpful. It was no longer doing me any good, and it was just time to let it go. And so, you know, I already had it in my mindset about a year before quitting that I was going to quit. And I even practiced quitting during that time period. So when it came time to quit drinking wine, it was pretty easy to do. The only thing I have left really to quit is I still like to drink coffee. Yeah, I have one cup of coffee a day, and oddly enough, I have it in the evening time after my last meal. And so I'm not drinking it to get my morning boost. It's more like a reward that I've done well for the day, so after my final meal I like to have a coffee. And so we're, you know, anyways, let me just backtrack here. A part of self-realization as well, which is Revolution 3, was that I was, you know, there was a spiritual hunger developing inside of me, and so I started to search out, you know, how does the vegan diet and spirituality all connect, and my lifestyle that I'm living, you know, that I like to exercise, I like to be healthy, I like to feel clean inside. And there's another level where I wanted to connect spiritually. And so on the food side of it now, I also came across superfoods, and so I started exploring that because, you know, there were some, I read about it, and the claims made about these foods like goji berries and maca, spirulina. There's like hundreds of different superfoods out there, but I bought some and started experimenting with them to see if it made a real big difference in my diet, and in all honesty, I found it didn't improve things that much. I was already eating mostly raw. At this point I was probably eating about 90% raw, and the addition of superfoods, I didn't feel the difference. Now maybe I didn't give them a fair enough chance, I don't know. But interestingly enough, that was around the summertime when I planted, you know, my vegetable garden, and it was not a great summer for growing vegetables. And so I looked elsewhere to get my fresh produce in the summer, and that was through edible weeds and edible flowers. And I discovered things in my own, what I would normally throw away, what I used to consider nuisance, like dandelion leaves, that these were very nutritious foods. And not only that, that these were like superfoods. They were superfoods because they're loaded with nutrition, and they're fresh. They grow wild. They're resilient. So I started introducing that into my diet, and also wild fruits like crab apples. There's a crab apple tree that grows in my park, and I picked the crab apples from there. I just ate them off the tree. It felt amazing. I also made crab apple pie, and my kids love it. And then I made a crab apple juice, which was pretty amazing as well. I blended the crab apple juice with elderberries, and the combination was pretty potent. So I was doing a lot of that. But what was really probably significant was when I read the book 80-10-10 by Doug Graham. And what this opened up to me was the possibility of going 100% raw without my diet being high in fat. However, it's probably one of the most challenging ways to eat, because what it basically is saying, what Doug Graham is saying is, you eat 80% carbohydrates, 10% fat, 10% protein. Well, the 80% carbohydrates, well, actually they all, even the fat and the protein, they come mainly from fruits and vegetables. And well, and leafy green vegetables as well. So, and then you can add some nuts and seeds to your diet, but that's just occasionally, like every few days you have some nuts and seeds. And so I've been experimenting with that, and I've been finding it very beneficial. However, I still, I am not 100% 80-10-10, and I'm not 100% raw. At this point, I'm about 98% raw. And I'm probably at a place now where, well, I'm ready to give up coffee. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start drinking black tea. Again, it's only 1 cup a day that I have, and then change that to green tea, and then go to herbal tea, and then that'll be it. I'll be finished with caffeine altogether. I'm also, I think I'm ready to go totally raw. But, and raw in the 80-10-10 style. However, I will always leave the option open that if I really, really feel like having a cooked vegan meal, I will do it. And it's just a psychological thing. Like, let's face it, like, it's food, and you know, we got to have fun. There's one thing I can say about my vegan journey. It's been a lot of fun. There hasn't been a lot of guilt involved. Even when I've eaten things that I shouldn't have eaten, I don't wake up the next day, oh, you know, and you know, feel like I've got to whip myself. I just move on. My ultimate goal is living a healthy, vibrant life, and if the vegan way can provide that for me, whether it be raw or cooked, then that's what I choose. But if there ever comes a time in my life where, you know, something nutritionally is missing, and the only way I'm going to get it is by maybe eating an egg or by eating some fish, I would be open to that too. I'm not an ideological vegan. I'm a practical vegan. It's got to work. It's got to work. I'm not willing to die for food, but I do want my food to give me life and to give me a vibrant life. And that's where I'm at as a vegan. I think Revolution 4 is going to be empowerment. I'm still going through this self-realization stage, and a lot of it has to do is, you know, where am I going now at age 50? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? And a lot of it seems to be that it's about serving others, and how that's actually going to develop, I'm not sure yet. But perhaps, you know, this YouTube is a part of it. But the next stage, and I believe it's coming up soon, is Revolution 4, empowerment. I believe my life will be empowered in a way that I've never experienced before, never could have imagined. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. And so, that's it. Revolution 1, transitional period. Revolution 2, metamorphosis and education. Revolution 3, self-realization. And coming soon, Revolution 4, empowerment. Ooh, that sounds good. So, I hope you enjoyed your time with me, and you know, if you could just give me a favor, give me a rating. I've got 2 ratings, and they're not that great, but they're like poor and I think okay.